Poilievre running in Battle River-Crowfoot. There's already approximately 50 candidates. This is part of that kooky leftist organization that's really trying to, I don't know, confuse the electorate, get incumbents they don't like, or candidates they don't like elected. And Sheila, it's an outrage. And I have the way to fix this. We have to increase the number of signatures a candidate gets.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, 1,000, 2,000, you name it. We also have to increase the entry, not a couple of $100. How about 10,000? How about 20,000? And by the way, I'm willing to say this. If you meet those benchmarks and you get, say, 8% of the voters supporting you, you get a refund of your money. And I know, these loony leftists. And by the way, if this was some right-wing organization doing this, Sheila, I would have the same contempt. They're going to say, oh, you're just trying to make the election all about rich people. No, I'm not. If you are running for federal office and you can't get 2,000 signatures and you can't raise $20,000, I question your legitimacy. I question how committed you are to being an elected member of parliament. I'm not talking, $2 million. I'm talking $20,000. Then this nonsense, all these shenanigans go away. We need this to be reformed. And I think I've given the solution, Sheila.
Let's just show who the real villain is in all of this. Can we bring up that elections Canada page and just show just how organized this is? Okay, just stop. So Grant Abraham, we know Grant. He is an independent conservative type. He's got his official agent is Reid. Look at everybody else. Dylan Anderson, Fraser Anderson, Martin Borch, Eva Bowering. Who's this? Thomas Suchuzich, I think is how you say that. It's all the same guy. Pages and pages and pages. I am sort of... I would be surprised if all of these people knew that their names were on the ballot. Honestly.
Yeah.
Like most of them don't even have a website. They've just put their names forward. They're paper candidates. They're not going to run any campaign. And this is electoral interference of the highest order. And yeah, there's Poilievre. Bonnie Critchley was one of the others that was like a legitimate independent candidate. But all of these people, they're not running under a banner. This is all part of their this scheme by this Thomas guy. There's Jeff Willerton. He's from the Christian Heritage Party. He's a legitimate candidate. But I have my doubts that all of these people are even aware that their names are on the ballot. So is it the same, 1,000 people signing over and over again? There has to be some auditing. This is complete gaming the system. It's a waste of everybody's time. It's a waste of resources, and it makes a mockery of our elections. Somebody has to do something about this.
Sheila, thank goodness for Little Mercies. I was looking at that list. I was very, animated when it came to those candidates with the surname beginning with P. At least we don't see some real dirty trick happening. And it's happened before in elections, folks, where you get a candidate whose name is incredibly similar to the candidate you're targeting, with the hopes that people won't be reading the ballot correctly and vote for that person. At least that's not the case here. But you're right. This is not sincere. This is not legitimate. This is gaming the system. And I say raise the benchmark for entry to thousands, not hundreds of signatures, and several $1,000. And then you'll see all those jokers evaporate, Sheila.
Yeah, it's real easy. And, I misspoke. I thought it was 1,000. It's actually only 100.
Yeah.
100 names. And so when you're stacking 50 of them, it's just you and the person standing beside you. And you just keep going through that with, you could get all these 50 fake candidates in a room. They bring their buddy and that's it. Everybody's nominated.
And Sheila, I've even heard with the 100 name benchmark, how do we know for sure that's not the same 12 or 13 people putting multiple signatures? I mean, are those things actually given scrutiny? I don't think so. So even when you say 100, it might be even fewer than 100 endorsing the candidate.
Yeah, it's crazy. And we're not even going to get, I don't think this is finalized. They have until day 21 of the campaign to get all their finalized candidates in. It's just, I don't know. It's a mess. Somebody should do something about it, but the Liberals are in charge and this benefits them. So it definitely won't.
Well, Sheila, I don't have confidence in Elections Canada,
No, neither do I.
I mean, how many times again, we're going back to sneaky Patrick Brown. How many times have we caught him carrying out shenanigans that, in my point of view, should have him behind bars? There's a safe haven for the sneaky one in case he's worried about somebody taking his life. Elections Canada has one job to do, which is on election night, make sure their website is up and running so we can see who's winning. And you saw how it crashed on April 28th. So I don't know if it's a matter of incompetence, if it's a matter of these bureaucrats are simply lazy. You can't be fired, it seems, when you're in the federal bureaucracy. But this is a body that has to be reformed too, Sheila.
Yeah. I mean, there's that. I have a piece coming out and I have to adjust it because Elections Canada has finally issued a statement. But from 2 days ago, 121,000 ballots went uncounted by Elections Canada by their own data.
Yeah.
And that is in the middle of all these elections where they lost, like locally, where they lost 822 ballots in a BC riding that were they were absentee ballots. So they were supposed to be attributed to places across the country, but collected in a BC riding. And then they had that one vote loss that swung the riding to the Liberals in a Quebec riding, where now Elections Canada is admitting that there were problems there. So, I mean, there's a real problem at Elections Canada. Nobody seems to really take it all that seriously at Elections Canada. And with, ridings being won and lost on a hair's breadth, I feel like they should take their job a little bit more seriously, but they're just like, trust us. And if you bring up the problems that their own records say they're having, like Elections Canada issues these statements, that's where that's where I get the news from, where I'm like, oh my gosh, they lost 822 ballots. I got that from Elections Canada press releases. Yeah. If you bring it up and you say, you know what, we've got problems with election integrity in this country, everybody, including Conservatives, are telling you to shut up.
120,000 is the number, Sheila. And to your point, look at the number of horse race ridings, photo finishes. Yeah. And this is no big deal. That's outrageous. This is garbage. And here's my question to you, since you've delved into this. What are they going to do about this 120,000 uncounted ballots? Is it, we'll do better next time? Or are they going to reevaluate the ridings that these ballots are from?
They're going to investigate themselves and find nothing wrong. Really, they said, we didn't attribute these 822 ballots, these absentee ballots, from a riding in BC, but don't worry, they didn't affect the outcome.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, what? And then they're issuing these fines for people who are voting twice, as was the case in Richmond Hill. And that guy's getting, for voting twice, and he knew it was illegal to vote twice, $1,000 fine.
Oh.
Okay. Not a deterrent, but you know what? When your Elections Canada workers are mishandling 822 ballots, you've just told me the cost of a mishandled ballot. It's $1,000. Where's the fine against that elections worker?
Yeah, that'll teach him a harsh lesson. You know, but to the bigger point of these 120,000 ballots, and I think you're right, Sheila, Elections Canada will investigate itself, say nothing was wrong, nothing different would have been the outcome. This is Banana Republic garbage, if you ask me. And we are supposed to have faith in this institution to make sure a fair game is being called. I don't know. I'm questioning it now, Sheila.
Yeah, me too. Elections Canada issued a statement because that story went viral. And they said, we see comments about special ballots that were not counted in the last election. The law is clear, although they don't say this is why they don't get who didn't return them. And we already know Elections Canada workers didn't return at least 822. The law is clear. Ballots that are returned after the election day can't be counted. We communicate these deadlines to inform electors. We also can't count ballots that are never returned. Okay, but they don't say those 122,000 were not returned. They just say they weren't counted.
Yeah, but wait a minute.
Says,
oh, go ahead, Sheila. Sorry.
No. It says the officer has made recommendations to try to reduce the number of special ballots that are returned late or never returned. They don't say who's responsible for not returning them. And we know in some instances it is Elections Canada.
That was going to be my point. If you were to blame for this fiasco, how can you have the audacity to say, oh, no harm, no foul, we'll try better next time? No, that's garbage.
Yeah. So they actually didn't say that those 122,000 were returned late by the people they were sent to. They just say these are the reasons ballots can't be counted. And we know that in that BC riding, it was an Elections Canada worker.
Unbelievable. There should be a royal inquiry, I think, Sheila, because if you don't have integrity as being the mission statement of a federal election, then you've got nothing.
Yep.